Buongiorno, Vario stick here. What are we going to be doing today? We're going to be looking at this. This is my new wildlife camera. It is the Apeman H45. So this is the Apeman H45 wildlife camera. What's special about cameras like this? Well, they can film at night as well as during the day. Full colour, of course, during the day, just black and white at night. But if you've been watching my channel, you've seen a couple of Abruzzo nighttime nature watches, and you'll see how these kind of cameras perform. Just to give you a quick rundown on the specs, as I say, it's the Apeman H45 a wildlife camera. It's got an SD card inside. I'll show you that in a minute. Apeman say no more than a 32 gig, at least class 6 SD card in here. That it doesn't come with that. You have to buy that separately. The card itself, of course, must be formatted. The camera will do that for you. So you just put the SD card in, press format, and it'll do the rest for you. It needs 8 AA batteries. We'll come on to the batteries in a minute. It doesn't seem to chew a lot of power, so it's quite good in that respect. It's a 16 megapixel camera, 1080p recording. See on the back here, cradle, that's curved. So if you're going to attach it to the trunk of a tree or a telegraph pole, that's handy, because if you just have the square back, of course, the camera will just rock side to side. So that's particularly useful. The other thing it do, as you can see, is it allows it to sit square on something. So if you just want to put it on the top of get that around there, if you just want to put it on the top of a wall or a tree trunk or the ground, then that little cradle helps it to sit perfectly upright. Also, externally, as you can see there, that's the fitting which allows it to be screwed to a tripod, so you can mount it on the tripod. I think I've already mentioned this will work during the day, so you'll get full colour or black and white at night via the camera. Just a little bit of word of warning about the sensor on the front here. It does say this in the instructions, but if you're going to put it out in a hedge or you know, near some grass or sticks, a bit of bramble on the ground, if you get anything moving around in front of it, like some bramble or some grass close to the sensor, it'll set the camera off. So I take my secateurs out now, so if there's anything going to blow around in the wind in front of the camera, I cut that back and give it a reasonably good field of view. It doesn't matter if you're 2 or 3 meters away, but you don't want a bit of grass stuck right up in front of the camera lens, in front of the sensor, because it will in fact trigger the camera. Getting into the unit's very straightforward, very simple. Just a couple of clips on the side, and it opens it up. You can see what's going on internally. 2 parts of this camera. Behind here, just a little clip there, pull that down, is the batteries. As I've already mentioned, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 batteries in here. I was a bit worried about that at first, but in truth, it doesn't chew up a lot of power. So, would you buy some rechargeables and a rechargeable unit or a charging unit? Maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. I've had this now for 2 or 3 months. It's out regularly. I also use the LCD screen just to see what it's recording every day, and we're still basically on full power. So those 8 batteries are probably going to last me 3 or 4 months, maybe even a little bit longer. I suppose it depends on how you use it. I have this on a timer, so it's only working at night, but if you're having it on all the time, then maybe you chew those batteries up a little bit quicker. You can also see here in this side, well, you may not be able to, just focus in on the camera. There's a rubber gasket in there, and there's a lip that runs all the way around this side of the camera. So when those two go together, see that lip there fits inside that rubber gasket, and these clips come across. So it's supposed to be showerproof. I have had it out in the rain, not deliberately, but it has rained on it 2 or 3 times. We even had a dog pee on it, and it's still working fine. So I think the electronics are protected quite well, and I would go along with what the manufacturers say. It is actually showerproof. So what do you get on this side of the camera? Well, if you can just see there, there's a power in. Try and get that on the camera. Power in there. They say in the instructions don't use that if you're going to use the camera outside, because of course it's going to have to be open, so then it's open to the elements. Just use that power point there via the little adapter, which does not come with the camera, to maybe use the LCD screen to review your footage. Also on here, just there's a three-way switch. One way is off, the second is activating the camera. I'll show you that in a minute, and the middle one just allows you to access things like the menu. So you press the menu button there, and you can probably see you get all the different functions that come up on the menu. You use the buttons here to cycle through them. We've got the mode, which is the first one. Now that says, do you want to use it to video, or do you want to use it to take stills pictures, or both? Photo size, I've got it set to 5. Well, I suppose it depends on what kind of quality you want, and also how much space you're going to have on the SD card. I only use mine, it comes on a timer at 2300 hours and goes off at 05:30 the following morning, so it's never going to use an awful lot of that data card. Video size, again, picture numbers, how many it takes in a burst. Video length, I've got mine set at 10 seconds. After 10 seconds it stops and it waits for a few seconds before it starts another video. Again, that saves space. Interviews for 30 seconds, sorry, interval 30 seconds there before it starts another video. Time stamp, in other words, when I take a video or a photograph, the time stamp is on there. Time switch, that's a little bit, we'll just press the menu button again, sorry, enter. And that says that's on, a little bit misleading time interval. It says time starter, there we go. I've got mine coming on at 19:05, finishes at 05:30, this particular one. Menu to go back, so time switch is actually the timer. A password if you want to put one of them on. Serial number, time lapse, so it'll do time lapse as well, and the rest is fairly straightforward. What else can you do on the middle switch? Well, you can have a look at what you've recorded. You just press the play button, the replay button there. I don't know if you can see that. That's a photograph. You come in and out. You can use your up and down buttons to scroll through what you've got. This particular one is a video. I don't know whether it'll record it on this camera. You just press OK, and it plays your video. You just cycle through the ones that you've got. There's another video, photographs. Very, very simple. And use side-to-side keys to zoom in if you've got a photograph that you want. You might just be able to see at the bottom there. I've got things like at what time, the temperature, external temperature, the date, etc. So you can turn that time stamp on or off depending on what you want on your photo. Third position on the switch is to activate it into its active mode. So you switch that, and you probably see, give you a little counter at the bottom there, 2, 1, and then it goes blank. And it's now set up, ready to come on. Was it 7:30 at the evening? I think I'd set it last time. So that will now come on at 7:30 tonight, and it will go on at go off, I should say, at 5:30 tomorrow morning. So you just lock that up with the two little switches there. Now that's done. Very, very simple. The SD card, by the way, just fits in here. Just see that. There we go. That pops in there. Just a standard SD card. This particular one's a 32 gig, and as I've mentioned earlier, that's the biggest one that they recommend that you put in here. Well, hope you found that video helpful. Tremendous little camera, this. This is the base one for your £33. You can go up in specifications from 8man. There's I think about 4 or 5 different nighttime or wildlife cameras. Some go right up to 4K. I'm happy enough with 1080p. I think it gives decent results. Have a look back on my YouTube channel. You'll see a couple of Abruzzo nighttime watch videos. I think the quality is very, very good. Decent customer services as well. They respond within 12-24 hours, so happy enough with that. Hope you found that useful. Please like and subscribe. Share the video if you know somebody who's interested in this type of wildlife or nighttime camera. and just keep an eye out on the YouTube channel. We'll be back soon with some more expat life out here in Abruzzo. So until then, this is Vario Stick saying ciao ciao for now.